I like the idea of them getting eyes that maybe he's cold, so they're a little close, for warmth. Or maybe they're
Warmth for his eyes.
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
going for some excitement here. What can we do?
I love it, Maureen.
Maybe this would have been a good time to add a little reinforcing glue.
I did recommend the glue.
You really did, yeah. I didn't.
It's okay. You're doing your own thing.
I didn't take you
The
up
good
on
thing
it.
is we have lines.
We do, yeah. We got a few things that are like winging it, and a few things not so winging it. I've only got one. What do you think? We could give him like drunk eyes. Maybe he's grandma got run over by a reindeer eyes.
You want to have it flat side up or round side up?
I don't know. Let's see. We've got are we crazy eyes? Are we? Oh, we're definitely
Oh,
not
I like
those.
crazy eyes. I like forehead eyes.
Yeah, I know. I was like, these might be funny eyes right up here. Let's see what patchability eyes thought that they. Where did they like their eyes? Are we wide set eyes?
They're close set.
Oh, and fairly high.
Oh, look, we have a friend. Robin's here.
Hello, Robin.
Hi, Robin. How are you today?
Oh, look at this is a special look.
Oh, I like it. Welcome back to my sewing room with Maureen and Chelsea. We're doing Roofuss the Reindeer Sew Along Part 3 today.
That's right, yes.
I'm very excited. We already did a little practicing for our curving on our blanket stitching.
Just to make sure we wouldn't embarrass ourselves. Turns out we wouldn't have. We were okay.
We did really good. I was very excited. And I think that's my second time ever blanket stitching.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done it. Although as you were doing it, I thought, it does look familiar. I think I may have before. Like, I think a long time ago, I made a chicken quilt and I may have blanket stitched it. But I also think I lost patience partway through and was like, yeah, maybe only a couple of these chickens need partial outlines.
That's okay. Not everything needs blanket stitching.
No.
You can do as much or as little as you want.
Yeah.
There are no blanket stitching police.
But I do like the way that our test run went, so I think this is going to get the full treatment.
I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So
should we do his nose today?
That might be a nice
we could do the
touch.
house and we could do the nose.
Okay.
Do you have red?
I did, yeah. Oh, I wasn't keen on the reds I brought, but the one of them is okay with
I
his
might
nose.
have red in the drawer.
Okay, sounds good. So
Fantastic.
here's how we're going to test his eyes. We can put on the top down camera and we can show everybody what we're going to put his eyes. So here's his eyes. They're 2 buttons and they're loose. So we can kind of decide if he's going to have wide set eyes, which makes him look a little bit goofy, a little bit more gingerbread manish. This is kind of where patchability set them. It's kind of up high, a little bit foreheadish, maybe not that foreheadish. Also, patchability's put his head closer down to here, so we've got a little bit more room to play with because we decided to give him a bit of a long neck. Reindeer should have long necks because they're looking out.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
they are.
So I think, I don't know.
I like him there. That's really
I kind of
cute.
like him there. So if we aim for kind of this midline divot, we'll just kind of.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Right.
Awesome.
We could also make him a little like, whoa. And if we decide partway through we don't really want these eyes anymore, and I change my mind about where we want to place them, snip, snip, and he can have new eyes another time.
That's the best part. There's a few ways you can attach his eyes. If sewing on buttons with a sewing machine does not crack you up, you can glue them on or hand sew them on. But today we're going to take turns sewing.
Yes.
So I'm going to take on the blanket stitching today, and Maureen is going to sew on buttons.
With the handy dandy, with the Bernette, this is the button foot here, and it's super easy to use. I'm very excited to do this. I also, on my Bernina, I have the button foot. It's number 18. I don't know what the number is on this one. It looks like a 4.
RC, I think.
RC.
They're all letters.
Okay,
it's RC.
RC, but it also has a 4 in it. That's like RC on the bottom and 4 on the top. So it's kind of a whole bunch of things.
I wonder if that's the number of plastic it used.
I don't know.
Me neither. It's cute.
It's cute. I like it.
So we did a little homework.
Yeah.
While everyone was not hanging out with us yet.
Yeah, we're doing a great job of being preppy this time. I'm pleased with with our work.
So we kind of planned out our numbers. Now it's a little hard to see, but what we did
take this
was we started from the top edge and we measured 5 inches down and started the top of our little guys. So we put them here 5 inches from the top, and then we started measuring because these are 1 3/4 inches wide and tall. They need to be at least 1 3/4 inches away, and we thought that was too close, so we put the 1/2 inch in that Patchabilities recommends.
Yeah.
So from the bottom of here, we measured down 2 1/4 inches and drew another line, and then we just kind of evenly spaced our little numbers, and we taped them on with embroidery tape because Maureen's going to stitch them on, and it's going to be much easier having them kind of placed.
Yeah, and Chelsea didn't put them in the
I did not.
in the center, so
I'm sure I'm going to mess that up
I'm
again.
fixing that for me.
So we kind of just have them loosely placed.
Yeah.
We did our blanket stitching on our white part already off camera so we could practice and be ready.
That was our...
And we're going to do a little bit of blanket stitching now.
Yes. So we chose to put the placement of the numbers a little bit differently than Patchabilities did. So they went with a straight grid line, and with all of these kind of lining up in a perfect grid. I decided I wanted them off-centered a little bit just because
But you know the best part.
I was worried about them not being perfectly straight and all even. Whereas this here, it's easier to hide imperfections if you don't go with lines that make it obvious. So this way, much easier to hide any imperfections.
Awesome. Wow.
And then number 24, I didn't tape on. It just goes on the star at the bottom, so I've just kind of left that loose.
Oh, our camera went a little blurry.
Oops.
Let's see if I can fix that. It's because we're moving around.
Yeah, it's my head like in, my head's out.
Nope, didn't fix it. Okay. Let's just go properties.
Whoop. There we go. Getting better, getting worse. Who knows?
That's because I stopped grabbing the button.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. That's much better. There we go. Okay, we're back in focus.
Excellent.
This is where the 24 goes.
Yes.
Amongst my hair.
Down here. I know, I'm shedding like crazy today too. I don't know.
It's the weather. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to get rid of that.
It's 24. Calgary weather, right? Can't decide if it's hot, warm, whatever. Apparently, it's getting up to the teens again this weekend.
That's exciting. I'm so down with that.
Yeah. You know, I like when it melts. It's a little bit hard on like keeping the windshield wiped and clean, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Not complaining.
Me neither. Should we get on to blanket stitching?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm excited.
We're going to switch to our close-up. And we are on our B79. That's our Bernette 79 machine. And under these little quilting stitches, we picked number 1008. That's a blanket stitch. It looks just like this. And the coolest part is you see that little dot there? That's showing what position my needle's in.
Yes.
And where it's going to start. So that's very helpful. All right.
So with the blanket stitch, you want to start with it towards the pattern, like the piece, or away from?
So the way my stitch is going to move is it's going to go like this. You can see in my picture how my open ends are to my left. That means I want the color of fabric facing towards the left, and I'm going to stitch on the raw edge on the right.
Right. So you're going to have the solid line against the edge of the fabric and the teeth, if you will, into the fabric, right?
Yeah, okay. I like teeth. That's a good explanation.
So it looks kind of like a comb, right?
And I have my knee lift set so I can easily pivot when I need to or reposition my very first spot. There we go. And I am going to turn on the locking stitch. You can see my little knot turned on. I'm just going to give it a couple stitches. And away we go. Kind of fun. And I'm just making sure my needle is dropping right where my two fabrics are meeting.
Perfect.
And I picked the nice straight line to sew on because it is a little bit easier than the curves, but we can navigate a curve too. And if you find your hands aren't getting enough grip while you're stitching, you could wear a pair of quilting gloves as well while you're doing this. And then it just gives you a little bit of extra control. And you can go as slow or as fast as you feel comfortable. On the straight ones, I can go pretty fast. And then I lose my way a little. There we go. She's in my knee lift. I'm going to straighten myself out again. And I'm going to start going again. Did you know this B79, B79, it has a back kick on the foot pedal like the Berninas do?
That's nice. The other thing that I'm enjoying about it is it's got the dual feed foot on it, which is kind of nice, kind of like the larger Bernina series. And so it's not the same. It's kind of a half step from a regular foot to a walking foot. So it's not pulling the same as a walking foot would, but it is giving a little bit of extra encouragement to bringing the fabric along.
Certainly is, because we have our whole quilt sandwich under here, and sometimes that needs just a little bit of help.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a B77, like a 770 at home. That's what I usually sew on, and it's got the dual feed as well. I find it quite helpful.
Really enjoying sewing on this machine. It's really fun. And I also have the extension table on.
Yes.
And so I have a lot more room for my hands than if I did not put my extension table on.
Yeah, I've actually found this B79 quite enjoyable to sew on the last couple days.
And it's always okay to stop and pivot. Maureen was watching me stitch a bit of the blanket stitch earlier. It was kind of funny.
Well, we were just doing it for the first time and learning, but you did really well with it. I'm quite happy. And I like the way it looks on the back, too.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool on the back. All right. And I'm going to hit my lock. And I'm going to go. Let it lock. And then we're going to hit our scissors. Fabulous.
Oh, that looks really cool.
And let's see if we can see it on the camera. You see my little blanket stitch. My stitching is on the edge right between the two fabrics, and then my teeth are going up into my fabric. And you can see where I pivoted.
That's awesome.
Actually, you can see my holes in the fabric.
Yeah, we're really nice.
That was really fun. Should we stitch another section?
Sure. Do you want to do his nose?
Yeah, we should do his nose.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find a red. We'll get us unthreaded. There's the scissors.
You know, the red I brought might be a good red for his nose. Just wasn't great for his scarf. It was just a bit too bright, but let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
perfect.
think that'll be okay, because I think this one's a bit too
Yeah, that might be a little bit too
dark.
A little bit dark. And we're using Isacord thread because there's tons of colors that you can choose from, so you can match all the colors of your project. How many different colors of Isacord is there, Maureen?
There are, at one point there was 380, but I think there may be as many as 400 now. I'm not entirely, I'm not sure if there's proprietary colors for OESD, like only ones that OESD makes.
Yeah.
In Isacord, and then there's some that are made like for the mass public. So there are some that like wouldn't be available in Europe, but we get here in North America, which is kind of cool. I didn't know that before. That was something new that I learned.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of fun.
So when we're going around the curve,
Yeah.
when I want to pivot, I'm pivoting when my needle is at the junction between the brown fabric and the red fabric.
Okay.
Not while it's in on the red only.
Right, or you get a whole bunch of triangle, like tents.
Yeah,
right?
then I'll get a whole bunch of triangles in my piece. And I'm pivoting quite often on this because, of course, we're trying to turn a corner with a straight stitch.
So I got an answer. There are 390 isochord colors in the thread chart.
That is a lot of color.
And it is, yes, quite a few to choose from. Oh, that's looking good.
This one I have to go nice and slow on.
Yeah, it's a lot of curving. You wouldn't want to race off and end up with a polygon nose instead of a round nose.
Or maybe we want a polygon nose because it's a craft project, and that could be really fun.
Yeah, you could do all of these in geometric shapes instead of rounds. That might be neat. So it could look a little bit more abstract, maybe cubist, like Picasso through his blue period or something, right?
There's something calming about doing this.
It's like the slow TV channel, right?
And I also have my machine, I forgot to mention this, I have it just set to stop with the needle down in the fabric. Because if I have a moment of not paying attention and I lift up my foot without my needle down in my fabric, it won't be so fun.
Yeah, we don't want the whole project to shift.
Yeah, and then have a bunch of messy threads. This is, I think, the perfect red for his little nose.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice one. I was trying to match up red to his scarf from the ones that I had brought in, and I was like, oh, none of these are going to work, but it works well for his nose.
Just gonna fold up so I don't get hooked on anything.
It's funny, I had the perfect red actually on Tuesday, but I brought it back home for something else I was doing for the Marianne Bright
Oh,
quilt.
yeah?
Yeah.
What timing, hey?
Yeah, in fact, I only brought it home yesterday, so if I'd have been paying attention.
That's okay. This one works perfect.
It does, yeah.
On some of these parts, I can pivot enough without lifting the foot or stopping.
That's kind of cool.
That's really fun. All right, we're coming back to my beginning here. I'm going to hit my tie off. And I'm going to cut.
Perfect. Excellent.
If we have a little nose. Oh
Oh,
dear,
no, they're
I
all
threw
blind, they're
all of the
blind.
numbers everywhere. All right, there's our little nose, all blanket stitched. Oh, he's looking adorable. I messed up all your
They
numbers.
went for a real while. But you know what's nice is they're all in rows, and the rows are marked on the on the background.
This
so it's
is what
easy to
happened to the
reattach
numbers.
them. Yeah, they went for a bit of a jimble jumble.
All
That's
right.
okay.
What should we do next? Should we attach on a number or sew on a button?
Let's do some numbers,
Okay.
and then it won't matter that they're not all on here. In fact, I think we could probably just,
Do you want to sew on the 22 and 23?
well, no, because we're going to have to do
Oh, yeah.
that first.
Do you want to
So
do the
let's-
number 1 and
So
2?
let's do 1 and 2 because, yeah, this row is ready for them. We can just, why don't we take
How do I
these
keep losing my scissors? Are they
other
over
ones
there
off?
with
I
you?
think they're over here. Oh, they're right in the middle here underneath this row.
Very good. Thank
And I'm
you.
going to just take this row of numbers and we'll just 10,
Do you have a thread color you prefer? And I can get us
I do.
threaded.
We're gonna put this one on.
Perfect.
It's not a perfect match,
So-
but it's gonna work well.
The number we found in Isacord that matched this fabric quite closely was number 5552. It's a beautiful sage green.
Yeah, it's not like perfect, but it's gonna be just fine, and it's what I had, so. Okay, I'm just gonna line these back up.
Yay.
So
Kidnap the patchwork foot from me.
there. And there's the patchwork foot.
Thank you.
Sorry.
This is foot DE. Would you like to stitch this one, Maureen?
Sure, why not?
All right,
Okay.
let's switch around. I can't have all the fun stitching.
Right? Yeah. I don't want to make you do all of it either. Okay.
I wouldn't mind. This is quite an enjoyable project.
It's kind of fun.
All right,
So
let's switch it up.
in preparation for this, I'll show you here. We did the blanket stitch around the snow because we're going to have these numbers are going to overlap a little bit here. So we needed to make sure that that was all stitched down.
Fabulous.
So we'll start over here, and it's just a simple little stitch all the way around the box. And I don't want to have to deal with peeling the tape out of it later, so I'm just going to take it out now.
Alrighty. We are using tearaway embroidery tape, so if, say, you use that and stitch over it, you can remove it.
Yes, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Or you could use wash away embroidery tape if you were worried about it.
Okay. So I'm going to position the needle over the hole, hold my end. I sew kind of funny. I'm a left foot sewer.
That's actually really good.
So,
Because then when you use your knee lift, you're not accidentally hitting the gas.
yeah, it makes it
Could be problematic.
much easier. It's actually, oh, sorry, scared myself. Okay, it's something that Anne taught me when I first started sewing.
Yeah, to left foot sew.
Yeah. Okay. And then it's that second bump.
It's the line right in front. Yeah, second
Okay.
line in from the end.
Okay. And then
I'll keep those.
this.
I like them.
Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, down again.
That was speedy.
Right, and I went right past where I wanted to be, so back one stitch, now up. Oh no, I didn't. It was the right spot. So now we're just gonna angle.
Pivot! Pivot! It's that speed sewing of Maureen's.
You know, I'm not very patient. If you can do it fast, why not? And then
Beautiful job, Maureen.
there
Would
we
you
go.
like the number 2?
Okay, then I'm gonna take this off. And should we live dangerously and just go backwards stitching? No, that would be silly.
Sounds
Okay.
very interesting.
So sometimes I do crazy things and then I regret them later. So we're not going to do that today on camera.
Yeah, let's just pivot.
Let's just be normal and do this the right way. My kids like to call me the lesson learner. Okay, there we go.
The
Learning-
lesson learner.
yeah.
Is
I-
that because you like to do things interestingly?
Yeah, I do things the weird way and then go, yeah, that was a lesson learned. I do all sorts of things that way. I'm one of 6 kids, so oftentimes I got left alone to do things however I wanted to because my parents would, I'm the second oldest. So they were busy dealing with the younger ones and we'd be like, all right, let's see what happens if I do it this way. lots of times, not good things.
Sometimes it can be very interesting or good.
Yeah, I grew up also on an acreage, so they could just kind of let us do our thing. So you go out in the field and go, what's happening here today? Again, chaos. Like learning to ride a dirt bike. Chaos.
I see something you can put in the little pouch.
Oh, the button foot. Nice.
You could totally put feet in your advent calendar, Maureen.
That's perfect. This is turning out well. I'm going to put this thing down. So we'll have the top row done. Only placement of these is tricky for me. Okay, we're going to just up and down this a million times until I'm where I want it to be. Also, I haven't been stay stitching the first side of any of these, which is excellent for me.
You could use the locking stitch.
I could. I'm so used to, I have it on my machine, I just have it automatically set to do it. So I'm forgetting to do it on mine.
Well, you're doing a great job. The good news is that this will probably be fine because it's a wall hanger.
Yeah. What am I going to put in a 1-inch square pocket, really? Not much. And if it starts to come undone, I know how to sew it.
This is true. The nice part about just stitching through the whole project like this is you can always touch up or redo or anything.
So there's our first row. 1, 2, and 3. It's ready to go.
Good job, Maureen.
So now, all right, because nobody wants to watch me sew all 24 of those on. Now let's sew his eye.
Should we put him over here so we can figure out his eyeballs placement?
Yeah, we should probably
pull it down.
Oh, just pop down. Yeah, I was getting the dual feed out of the way because I didn't think dual feed would help us put buttons on.
No, it won't.
Okay.
Are you going to make them wide apart? Close together. You were aiming for kind of the middle.
Yeah, we'll put one on and then we'll gauge where the other one looks.
Okay, great. I'll keep one.
Living dangerously. I like that one eye. If he was a pirate, that would be the right place for one eye.
So we were playing with this earlier.
And I like the idea of him having green centers. We're going to keep it on green.
Oh, okay. Okay, he's going to have green eyeball centers. On a lot of buttons, they are standard width of buttonholes. On these buttons, they're a little bit tighter than your standard button. So for the first couple stitches, we are going to hand wind to see if our needle is going to pop between the holes. Because if we go hammering on our gas pedal, we may hit the button and break our needle or our button or both.
So in the Bernina, you go to the buttonhole here, and then it's number 60. And then we're going to, I think I maybe put that just a little bit close. We're going to just
what number are you on? 2.5?
Not yet. Oh, it actually remembered that we were at 2.5
it sure did.
Last time.
We sized it down to 2.5, so it kept the width, which is really awesome. It's very handy. And then this is the button sew-on foot. It's a little bit of a silicone front, so it will keep your button in place while you're stitching.
So you always do this test to make sure you've put it where you want it to be. And then when you've got it centered and positioned, you just put your foot on the gas and let it do it. And it just secures it in place.
That's fantastic.
And it'll stop when it is secured the way it wants to be. And that's it. And then you cut. And that's it.
Easy
it is sewn
peasy.
on. So that's all there is to sewing a button on with a machine, which is pretty amazing because who wants to sit there doing that by hand? It's so awful.
Not me. There's 2 other ways. Of course, you could sew it on by hand, or you could use glue.
Oh, I like that.
I think it's great.
Yeah, that's a good spot. Okay.
If you're going to use glue on your buttons, you do want to put enough glue, though, so it mushrooms up out of the buttonholes.
Well, I cleaned it to myself.
It has to mushroom up out of the buttonholes in order to keep the button on. Otherwise, they will just fall off. How's your setup going there?
Going well. I think I got this one just right as well. Let's see. We got one
Fabulous.
hole. 2 holes. Yeah, we're good. So I can just sew that thing on.
I love that. And since we're in the button sew on stitch, our feed dogs aren't moving
Yes.
so that our project isn't dragging and then our button getting chopped with our needle.
And because I sewed it with the green thread, my reindeer is a green
Green-eyed.
Irish reindeer.
I love it. He's so cute.
Look at that.
All right, let's check him out from the top camera. Now we have our
Position.
little eyeballs. His eyes are perfect spot.
I like that. Yeah, we did
And
well.
if you tacked them on and you completely disliked where they went, the best part is you just take a seam ripper, boop, boop,
Yeah,
put on new ones.
just give them a rip.
Easy peasy.
And then on the back, there's what you get for, it's just two threads. You can trim them down if you want, or you can just leave them. But that's what the back of a automatic buttonhole or button stitch on looks
see
like.
all of our stitching.
So yeah, and that's what we'll get on the back for this. So I'm going to do a bunch of homework tonight and finish all of the blanket stitching and
Awesome. And your numbers?
and the numbers, and then tomorrow we will finish it off. We'll bind it, and
Put our little decorative thread on
yes,
because he needs a string of bells going through
Yeah,
his antlers.
the bells and the
Doesn't
last
need that.
final touches. So yeah, that'll be that.
Well, thank you for joining us today, friends. We will catch you tomorrow.
Definitely.
Happy
Bye.
Thursday. Oh, and happy National Button Day. I almost
Oh, right.
forgot.
That's right. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely.
Happy National Button Day.
Enjoy your